Louise and we're here at SucramYoga, and today we're going to have a go at making celery soup, the easiest soup that you'll make. So here's the ingredients. This is what you need. I'm going to start off with, we need really about 3 or 4 pieces of celery, and I can break them off. We'll put 4 in, we'll have a go with 4. So those need to be washed as well. So I like to, things are nice when you've got a little bit of dirt on them, so I'm not too fussy. And there's a little bit of mud on them. They're okay. We don't really need to bother drying them or anything. Those are ready there. Right, so we need to get a pan, and we can get that moving. So we'll just turn the heat on. I'm going to go wet because my hands are too wet still. Still won't come on. That's it. Right, so we're going to set that just on like a medium heat, and we can get that going with a little bit of margarine in. Now this is all dairy free and it's wheat free as well when we put a little bit of flour in. So we're just going to get that just to melt a little bit. So a nice big dollop of that. Don't worry too much about measuring things out and being too precise on everything. Right, we've got 3 onions. Choice is up to you really whether you want to put the whole 3 onions in. Even if you just want 1 onion, then that's fine. Get all those ready. Now you need to chop all the vegetables up quite finely, and then they'll all break down then a lot quicker and a lot easier when you cook them. Now celery is great for you. It helps to regulate the blood pressure, and it has a nice cooling effect as well on the body. They used to use it in medicines years ago before we started to eat it, and it's also about 90% water as well, so you're not gonna get much weight on if you just have a diet of this. So we're just going to get these chopped up nice and finely. As you can see, not really the neatest of cooks. Slightly more Jamie Oliver than Nigella. So there's usually a fair bit of mess if I'm doing anything. So we've got plenty of onions. Great for the immune system as well, the onions. Now I don't really do an awful lot of cooking, as you can probably tell from this, but the little bit that I do, then it needs to be simple, or I can tend to get a bit fed up with it. So we can just put that straight in the pan, so they can just start. So they can all just like pour in there. Give that a little bit of a stir just to get it to mix in. And maybe just put that heat up a little bit just to get it going. Now the celery, just getting rid of a couple of little raggy end bits. We don't want to waste too much of it. Just the really rough ends. Try and use as much of it as you can. We can get rid of those bits. You could even put the leaves in if you wanted to. There's not a problem with that. So again, these, you need to chop them fairly small, and then they'll just break down a lot easier. And plus as well, if the pieces are too big, when you come to blending the soup, you might find that you end up with a few more stringy bits. So it just helps to get rid of those stringy bits in it. Just get rid of that bit first. So plenty of onion and celery to give it that good base. So this is a great little light lunch really to have if you were going out for then going on to your yoga class. Or I tend to eat things like this. If I'm going out to teach, then it's going to be easy to digest something like this. So you're not feeling bloated or anything by the time you get to your class. Obviously give a good little bit of time after you've eaten it. An hour and a half, couple of hours. So we need to get that stirring. Really need to get that margarine in there just to soften down a little bit more. Maybe turn it up. So we need that just to melt down. Now I'm going to put a little bit of salt in there as well, just a little bit of sea salt. It's in there. So this was the margarine which I was using, the dairy-free one. And you can go on their website, they've got some really good ideas as well if you're a little bit dairy intolerant. Right, so we're just going to leave that just for 2 or 3 minutes. Let me just screw it that bit off. So we need that just to saute a little bit in there. So only 2 or 3 minutes just getting those to break down, and then we can add a little bit more ingredients. So we'll see you in a couple of minutes. Well, how did you spend your 2 minutes? Right, back to the soup. So we've sauteed for 2 to 3 minutes. Nicely in there. And then we're just going to add a little bit of water. So 1/4 pint of water tipped in there. Give it all a good stir again. So then what we need to do now is bring that to the boil, and once it's to the boil, then we simmer it for about 15 to 20 minutes. So I'm just going to whack the heat up a little bit, wait for that to boil. So we can also do a little bit of a stretch as well. Pull back, a little bit of a stretch. We call this a kettle stretch. So in the morning if you want a really nice stretch, just fill the kettle up a little bit, maybe 2 or 3 cups worth, and then take a little stretch back and just hold here for as long as it takes for the kettle to boil. Nice little stretch out for your back and also for the hamstrings. You can always add on a little bit of a leg raise, point the toes. So we can always just bring a nice little bit of yoga into our daily routine, even when cooking. Right, so just waiting now for it to boil. Right, so we've got that boiling, and now we're just going to turn the heat down, just so we turn it down to about halfway, and then we're going to let that simmer for about 15 to 20 minutes. Okay, just till all the celery breaks down enough so we can mash it easy. Time for a bit more yoga. we're back again. 20 minutes of simmering later. So we're going to just start to add a little bit of milk in there now. Hello. We're going to put your shape song on in a minute for you. Okay? Right, let me get the soup done first and then we'll put that on. So we're going to add a quarter of a pint of milk. So we've just got rice milk or soya milk. Quite good. I usually use like soya milk if you're cooking soups and things like that because it is a little bit thicker, although I've only got rice milk instead, so I'm going to use that one. Now I'm going to add a little bit of flour to it as well, just to help thicken it. Now you can have a choice, so you've got gram flour, which is just chickpeas really, in there, which are ground down, so you can use that. Or we've just got some plain white flour, which is a gluten-free one. So I'm going to add a little bit of that into the milk, just to get that to thicken the soup up a little bit. So it makes you feel like you're going to be eating something. So if you've mixed it, not really that great at this, so it's a little bit lumpy in there. But by the time you've blended it all, you're not going to be able to see all that, so it's all going to be fine. So we're just going to squash out a few more lumps. There. And then we're just going to add a little bit at a time, get that to mix in. So better add in just a little bit at a time. Now if you hear anything going on in the background, just family life here. So you can just ignore them. There we go. So we've just got a little bit at a time. And it's all in. So that's all that done in. So that's all mixed in. Just to give it a little bit more body. We're going to bring that back to the boil for the last time. So we'll whack it up to about number 9 again. So I'm going to just tidy up pots and put things away, so because once it's come up to the boil and we've simmered it just for a minute or so, then it'll be ready to serve, so it'll all be tidy. Okay, see you in a minute. Okay, so we've got the heat off. Get rid of the lid. And you can get the blender plugged in. So I'm just going to put a tiny bit of nutmeg in there. A little bit of stir up. Give it a good stir around, that's thickening up quite nicely. Going to be pretty yummy. Alright, so then we can just blend away. Now depending who you're feeding, you can either just leave it as celery, or I like to whack in a nice big load of spinach as well. So I'm going to add a little bit of spinach to that. Leave that there a minute. You don't need to do anything with the spinach. You can just throw a load in. That'll just wilt with the heat anyway. So it's a good wholesome soup that you're going to be getting. So we can just give that a minute just to soften. Squash it down. And then we can give it another. Sometimes you get a few little runaway bits, stringy bits, but if you've got people who don't mind, then you don't need to make it perfectly smooth. So we're going to serve that out. Some for the little one. And we always save a little bit so we can have an extra bit later. So that can stay in there. Now you can put a little bit of black pepper on there just to taste. So you can either put that on yourself. I know that most people in our house, they're all okay with things like this. So we've got that on, and a nice little bit of cream so it looks nice. So again, it's just the soya cream, and we can just, you've got to get this right. Oh. Not too great, but you get the idea on it. Usually alright. If you're doing about 8, 6, 7 and 8 look okay. There we go. And serve it up with some oat cakes, and that'll just see you through. Okay?